to my channel, Bookmarked by Aaliyah. Welcome if you're new here. This is my week of buddy reads. So, we're going to get right into it because I got some reading to do. We are reading When You Are Mine, Kennedy Ryan, and we're reading The Attic Child by Lola J. This one I'm reading with She Loves Good Books, and this one with Kalish Bookish Vibes. I'll talk about this one first. I'm about 50% done with this one. This is basically a love triangle. There's two best friends, Cam and Walsh. Cam is dating Karis, so they're engaged. But the kicker is, a while back, Walsh saw her first. He saw her from afar, never said anything to her, was just like, oh my God, she's the one. You know what I mean? Like, saw her from afar, but like couldn't get his mind off of her. His best friend, Cam, is like a player type of guy, never was serious about a girl, but he's telling Walsh, hey, you got to meet my new girlfriend. She's the one, you know, whatever. Of course, it's the same girl, Karis. So they have this secret. Karis, I think, is actually feeling him too when she meets him. I feel like this is going to be messy. It's going to be so messy. And I heard that this one, I feel like this. Either I heard it or I just feel it. I don't really know. That this one is actually going to leave on a cliffhanger. So y'all, so when you see me buying that second book and a third book and a fourth book, don't be judging me, because if this continues to give what it's giving, I'm going to be buying the other ones in the series. It's crazy to see Kennedy Ryan's growth. I started reading Kennedy Ryan, obviously, like a lot of us would, before I let go. Then it went to This Could Be Us, and I read Real. I have the Kingmaker and the Rebel King. I haven't read those though, but like for the 3 or 4, how many other books I've already read by her, you can tell how far she's come as an author. Not that this is bad. It just doesn't feel like Kennedy Ryan wrote this. It just feels like another author, you know, wrote a good book. So it's in third person too. Y'all know how I feel about third person too. So it took me a minute to even pick this book up, because I knew after, you know, flipping through that it was written in third person. I'm like, oh hell, like I'm not gonna like this book. Let me just, you know, I'll get to it when I get to it. So when She Loves Good Books was like, hey, these are the options of the books, you know, that we could read. I see what you have on your TBR or whatever. And I was like, let's do this one, because I need motivation to read it. If I'm reading it with somebody else, I'm going to pick it up, obviously. This book still would have been unread probably through the summertime. Like, I don't know when I would have picked this up. So thank you for wanting to do this buddy read. I'm glad I was able to pick this up. It is good, but you really, really see Kennedy Ryan's growth. And I think with the third person thing, it's just that it's romance that I don't think I like in third person, y'all. It's romance, because historical fiction or thrillers, I feel like those are meant to be written in third person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. Maybe because like with historical fiction, it's in the past. So obviously somebody's telling me this. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's something about romance in third person. If it's not done right, I can't stand it. But this, it's done well. And I'm really enjoying myself. 50% in this one. I don't know what the percentage is that I'm in, but this is how far I am in this book. I think I'm like on chapter 11 or 12. This is going to be yesterday was my focus. That was my focus. Today, this is going to be my focus. So I'm going to dive into this, and I want to try to at least get about 50% into this book. Kayla is smoking me in this book, but she did put the disclaimer out, like, look, I'm not like the aggressive buddy reader that's like, what chapter are you on? Come on, you got to go. You know, like yelling at me to read the book. She's not like that. So she said she's going to take a break a little bit and give me time to catch up. Y'all know she's going to have that baby like next week or something. So I'm trying to get this done so she can finish this book before she's got to like live her life. So I'm going to dive into this one today. And it's really good so far. This is following Dikembe, which name was changed to Celestine. And it's following Laura. It's dual timeline, multiple timeline actually. And dual POV. As early as I am in this book, it hasn't quite meshed as to where this attic comes into play. It's been touched on Laura's point of view, but we're not quite there with Dikembe. So I see where this is going, and I already can tell you to pick this book up. Like, it goes from the beginning, and that is what I love about books, when they just go. It's not a whole lot of build up. It's not a whole lot of like boring stuff in the beginning. Laura's point of view is a little more, you know, more to be desired, I guess. It's already good. I already see that this is going to be sad. this poor little boy, like, I'll let y'all know. So that's my plan for today, y'all. I'm just kind of going to be popping in and giving you updates on like my thoughts and what I feel about it and things like that. So, because I got stuff to do today. So I will catch up with y'all when I got another update. Y'all know I'm always late and I'm at a train. Might as well update you. Yesterday afternoon, I finished the Kennedy Ryan book, When You Are Mine. I have no idea what I'm going to rate that book, y'all. No idea. I talked about how, you know, you could see her growth with the writing and all of that. It was a good book. However, that cliffhanger pissed me off. Like, really pissed me off. Because it wasn't even like a good cliffhanger. It was just like the chapter ended. What is going on? Like, why would you leave it like that? So now I'm strong-armed to get in the second book. Like, I'm not in a rush though, not gonna lie. I'm not in a rush to get the second book because the story wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta know what happens next. It is in a way, but not like that. Not like that at all. So I'll get to the second book in this series at some point. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to rate this book. It's not going to be low, but it's not going to be really high. It was a real mid book for me. So somewhere in the threes. Now, on the other hand, The Attic Child is getting deep, y'all. The tie-in that's happening with this attic, with the two main characters, Laura and Celestine, it is pulling me in. Yesterday, I really didn't get a whole lot of time to read yesterday. I listened to a good chunk of it. Not like I wanted to, though. Probably because I had finished the other book and I wanted to get stuff done. I was like, oh, I'll get to this later. But later came, like, really later. So I listened to a little bit when I got in bed. I read it. But it's getting deep. Like, it's sad. It's pissing me off. Like, there are so many emotions with this book. It's not even funny. I don't even know where Kayla is right now because I knew she said she wasn't going to be able to read too much yesterday. So I didn't want to like speed read or anything like that anyway. So that was kind of like another reason why I didn't feel pressure to like dive into that book yesterday. I got in it, but not like that. But my goodness, this book is awesome. When I get to work or later on in my downtime, I'm going to have to look up this author. Am I lying if I say this is her debut novel? If this is her debut, honey, I cannot wait to see what else she's capable of. This writing, it's done so well. It's one of those books, though, you got to be in the right headspace to read because you're going to get upset. You know, I would say, I'm not going to go as far as to say, like, check your trigger warnings because, like, by the synopsis of the book and everything, you can kind of tell, like, where the story's going. But the tie-in with these two characters and just, that is done so well. And I applaud that. Like, that is really good. So I work the next 2 days. I'm really not sure how much reading I'm going to get done, but I have a goal to probably be done with this book at least by Saturday, by the end of the week, you know, so I'll be done. So if I don't give you an update tomorrow on the way home from work, whatever, I'll definitely give you one on Saturday morning because this is too good not to read. I'm low-key mad I got to go to work. I'd rather sit home and read this book all day, but, you know, adulting. What do you do? I'm late, so we ain't going to Dunkin' today. I don't have time. I'm just have to go to my little, you know, work coffee shop or whatever and get that mediocre coffee, but it is what it is. I already had a cup anyway, so I'm about to be on 10. So I just want to check in, let you guys know where I am in these 2 books, and I'm done with one, and I just got one to go. And y'all, side note, I'm really proud of myself in this April TBR. I've already read 3 books off my TBR. This is the week of buddy reads that I obviously didn't pick, you know, out the TBR jar to read this month. So technically, I only have 3 books left to read for the month. And it's what, the 9th, the 10th? What is it? I don't even know. I have so many more days of this month left to read 3 books. So either I'm just going to take a break somewhere in there. Because you know, sometimes when you read too much, you end up in a slump. There's so many ways to get in a slump. And sometimes if I read too many too fast, I'm just over it and my eyes hurt. So we'll see what this month brings. I'm really proud of myself for sticking to my TBR. No promises that I'm going to continue to stick to my TBR, but only time will tell. I'll see y'all when I have another bookish update. So I'm at lunch. I just came in my car to decompress. It's been a day. I came out here just to get away, you know, from the job. It's kind of chilly out here. I really should have brought my jacket, but I just left. I just needed to decompress. I got my earbuds in. I don't even want it in the car. I just want to sit here with my earbuds in. I only have an hour and 48 minutes left in this book, so hopefully by the end of today I can be done with this. I'm probably gonna have a little bit of time where let me not jinx myself, but I'm gonna try to finish this book today. We're just gonna say that. I don't know when today, whether it's here at home, I really don't know when, but I'm definitely gonna finish this book today. But y'all, this book, it's going, I really like this book, and I still am gonna recommend this to anybody who listens. But like, it's a lot of up down in this book. It's a lot of like, not high stakes, I don't want to say that, but it's like you're really, really into it. 1 minute you drop in secrets, you got plot twists, you got all these things happening. Then it's just like a whole lot of stuff that I really don't care about. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like goes high and low, and it's kind of like as soon as I get into it, it bores me a little bit. You know, so just, I mean, nobody else might feel this way. I don't know if Kayla feels this way, but that's just how I'm feeling. But nevertheless, the story is really, really good. I don't know. I'm kind of liking, like in the beginning of this, I was liking Dikembe, his point of view a lot more. I think I said this earlier. And then like Laura's point of view, you know, it was missing something. Like I needed a little bit more. But now it's like the reverse. I'd rather hear about Laura and all the things she's finding out about her family and her history and things like that. I'd rather hear about that than Dikembe, because he's really not giving us history. Well, again, like I said, it's hard to explain. It's going to be hard to explain this book without giving it away. So nowhere in this vlog am I going to tell you about this book. And I don't know how I'm going to do my read and wrap up this book. Probably going to say the exact same thing, that it's very hard to explain. That's all I can say. Somebody else may be able to explain this a lot better than me, but like my biggest fear on here is telling you about a book, me loving a book, and me spoiling it for you. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know how many books that I've had spoiled from reading reviews, you know what I mean? Or listening to reviews or whatever. And I don't want to be that person. So I'd rather be as vague as possible, tell you if I like it or love it, and if you should get it. So that's what I'm doing. Like, you definitely should pick this book up. There are so many people I think are gonna love this book. Be on the lookout for my Goodreads review, because that's probably where I'm gonna have my final thoughts about this book. And I'll be starting something else probably by the weekend, even not tomorrow sometime, because I'm definitely gonna be done with this in a matter of hours. So I was definitely not done with that book in a matter of hours, like I just lied to y'all and said in that previous clip. I did finish The Attic Child yesterday. So let's do my final thoughts on that. And then I'm gonna recap both books. Now that I am done with The Attic Child, I'm still sitting on my rating right now. The pacing, y'all, it was the pacing of that book. That book had 5-star potential from the jump, 5-star potential. But throughout that book, and you probably can tell just in the course of this video, that like I went from saying there was a little more to be desired to that I was really, really into it, and then it's just going, to I really don't care about the stuff they're talking about. Like, it was all over the place. And I really think it boils down to the pacing of the book. Like, it was just up and down and up and down. And just, I felt like it could have ended differently. I felt like there were so many things that I feel like could have been different in that book. Like I said, it has 5-star potential. It just wasn't 5-star for me. Somebody else is going to give this 5 stars, trust and believe. But just for me, it just wasn't. So I'm kind of sitting a little bit higher than mid because the story is really, really good, y'all. The story is really good. It's just the pacing. It was just, I don't know. It was just the pacing of it that I didn't like. Like it was just too all over the place with that. And then it would just touch on things that just like, do we really have to even have this in the book? Like, what does this really have to do with anything? I felt like some of the just not pointless, but I'm gonna say pointless for the sake of this video, the pointless information to me could have just been replaced with more of the plot of the story, which is the attic, which is the way that Dikembe and Laura's lives overlapped and just the relationship between those two. You know, it's just, I felt like it was a lot of filler information in there that it messed the book up for me. So it's a really good book. I'm still going to recommend it to anybody who's listening, but for me, I expected more. So it's a slight disappointment, but I did really enjoy myself. And if this wasn't a buddy read, I probably would still be reading this book right now just because of those slow parts. But when you know you're doing a buddy read, it's like you have to push through because you know other people are reading the book too, and you don't want them to like completely smoke you and you taking 2 weeks to read a book. It motivates you. That's what I do love about a good buddy read. That it motivates you to keep going with the book that maybe you would have put down if you were just reading it by yourself, or you would have DNF'd it, or you would have just, oh, I'll get to that. Let me start something new. You know, that's the good part about a buddy read. So like I said about the Kennedy Ryan book, it just did not feel like Kennedy Ryan wrote it, but it's still a really good book. It still had a lot of, after I've sat on it a few days, I'm realizing that When You Are Mine did still have a lot of Kennedy Ryan's like signature, little nuggets in there. Like it's never just the romance with Kennedy Ryan. It's always the past lives and the trauma and the hard situations that the main characters are going through, because this is like really the meat and potatoes of When You Are Mine, because Cam and Karis come from similar backgrounds, where Walsh comes from a whole different life from theirs, but yet they're all in one friend group. So you have that traumatic stuff that goes on in Kennedy Ryan's books, and things that I feel like later in this series could tear your heart apart, like her other books have seemed to do, but it still just did not feel like a Kennedy Ryan book. I really enjoy these reads though. I really did. Like they're really mid, both of them are for me, but I did really enjoy the books and I don't regret reading them at all and adding them to my April TBR. So with that being said, first I just want to thank She Loves Good Books and Kayla's Bookish Vibes for doing these buddy reads with me. I hope we do many, many more in the future. I love a good buddy read because a lot of us that do these vlogs, I've heard at least half of them say this space is so fun, because 9 times out of 10, if you're a book girly, you don't have a lot of bookish friends. You have friends that might read here and there, but you don't have these hardcore book girlies. And I love this space because it's so fun doing these buddy reads, because you could text back and forth, you messaging back and forth like, girl, did you see that part? Oh, I can't stand him. Oh, this mother is pissing me off. Like you can have that interaction while reading a book when you have book friends, because in real life, a lot of us don't have that. And I literally have like a few of my coworkers, and I have one book girlfriend, and that's Gina Loves to Read. Like, I don't know if I've ever really said this on this channel, but like that's my real life friend. So that's really the only person that I get to bully to read books, the only person that I have. So when we're doing these buddy reads, it's so fun. So I love a good buddy read. So holler at me if you want to do a buddy read. I can't do like a million of them in a month, but you know what I'm saying? But I love a good buddy read. Well, that concludes this vlog, y'all. So as always, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see y'all next Sunday.